Morning, children. I hope you people have seen the previous videos, and in the previous videos I have mentioned about the Lok Sabha as well as the Rajya Sabha and the functions of the parliament. I hope you people have understood what is the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha all about, as Lok Sabha is a lower house or the public body and Rajya Sabha is the indirectly elected house. As everyone knows, Rajya Sabha members are elected indirectly through proportional representation by state legislative assemblies members, and they have to be elected ones. Now in this present video, I'll be continuing with the functions of the Union Parliament, though I have already explained the two functions of the Union Parliament in the previous videos. Right? In the previous videos, I have mentioned about the financial power of the Union Parliament as well as the elected powers. In this video, I'll be explaining about the elective powers as well as judicial functions. Now, in financial powers of the Union Parliament, as everyone knows, Union Parliament have the control over finances in the form of the budget, and budget is the money bill. And in which house the money bill is passed? Money bill has to be originated in Lok Sabha. Now, over here, one more power I have done in the previous video was what? The legislative power of the Union Parliament, where Parliament can make laws over the three lists: Union list, state list, as well as the concurrent list. Union list, everyone knows, controlled by Union legislature, that means Union Parliament. State list by state legislatures, and concurrent list, obviously Union Parliament and state legislatures both can control and exercises their functions over the concurrent list. But when the disputes implemented, when the disputes are there, whose will prevail? Obviously, the bigger body, that is the Union Parliament, will prevail over the concurrent list. So I hope you all have understood what were the list all about. Done? So let's move on to the another functions of the Union Parliament. Now, functions of the Union Parliament, as you have seen previously, we have done legislative and financial. Here I'm going to explain you about the judicial functions as well as the elective powers. So first, judicial functions. Now Parliament can exercise the court related powers, the power which can only be exercised by the courts. But everyone knows, let me make you clear one thing: Union Parliament is the uppermost body and they can control the Supreme Court as well. So Parliament is the bigger body as comparison to the Supreme Court. Supreme Court has to exercise its discretion according to the rules and regulations of the Union Parliament. Done. So let's start with the judicial functions of the Union Parliament. Under judicial functions, how come Parliament control over its members and the courts? The very first thing, power to impeach and remove the president. Parliament can very well elect the president as well as impeach the president. Now, how do Parliament elect the president? By the elected members of Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha and the state legislative assembly. Now, how come Parliament impeach the president? Impeach means always clear yourself. Is what impeachment is the removal of the president. How come president now is removed? Now removal of the president can be passed in either house of the parliament, right? Any house can take up this issue and pass the resolution of removal of impeachment against the president. Now this president now just one thing more sure about that, key always 2/3 majority needs to be formed in either house of the parliament if they want to impeach the president. That means 2/3 either in Lok Sabha or in Rajya Sabha of the total majority, right? Then only the impeachment process can be passed. 2/3 majority formed in either house of the parliament can very well take up the proposal and pass against the president. Then again it has to be approved by the same majority, that is 2/3 majority, by the another house. Right, everyone? And then it has to be approved. Then afterwards only the impeachment procedures has to be passed against the president. President too can be defended. President too can arrange the lawyer for himself. And if the proof is being passed against the president has to be impeached. So always remember, 2/3 majority has to be formed in either house of the parliament, approved by another 2/3 majority by the other house. Then only the president impeachment takes place. And obviously, if 2/3 majority couldn't able to prove the evidences against the president, then definitely this will not be passed. Right, everyone? Next, Power to remove. Now, another power of judicial power in Union Parliament is to remove the judges, that is Supreme Court, the High Court, Election Commissioner, Auditor General. Election Commissioner, those who manage the elections, and Auditor General, auditing the accounts of the Parliament. Right? Next, to try a person for its contempt. Obviously, no one, let me be very clear, no one would dare to disgrace the authority of the Parliament as well as the court. Right, they should be immediately be punished by the Parliament. Next, it has the power to establish new states names and boundaries. Another, any new states, right everyone, or the names or the boundaries has to be established, it has to be taken the prior approval of the Parliament. There's a judicial parliament power of the Union Parliament. Next, laws about jurisdiction, composition of the Supreme Court. Parliament can very well pass the laws for a jurisdiction, the exercises of the cases. Next, composition, how the Supreme Court is being elected, how many judges has to be there in the Supreme Court, these all has to be decided by the Union Parliament. Normally Supreme Court has 31 judges including Chief Justice of India, and I'll be explaining you in the Supreme Court chapter. Right. Next, set up the High Court, Supreme Court. In fact, Union Parliament have the judicial power that it can set up the high courts as well over 2 or more states. Done everyone. So I hope so you people have understood what are the judicial power of the Union Parliament. Always remember, Parliament is the upper body, is the supreme power, has supreme power over the court related matters. Right, though Supreme Court is the powerful body, but the more powerful body is the Union Parliament. Union Parliament make and enact the laws, and Supreme Court has to follow. The Supreme Court is an independent judiciary, no one can force Supreme Court, but somehow because the Parliament has the sole responsibility of the passing and implementing the laws, so obviously Supreme Court has to enact according to the rules and regulations. It should not go beyond the level. Next, elective function. Another function of the Union Parliament is the elective. That means how many members of the body can the Parliament elect. The Parliament can elect the President, Vice President and the Speaker. Now let me tell you how. The President can be elected by the Lok Sabha members, the Rajya Sabha members and the State Legislative Assembly members, right? And then again next, the Vice President. Now here Vice President is only be elected by the elected members of the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha. Here State Legislative Assembly has no role. Always remember, and Vice President is also the ex officio chairman of the Rajya Sabha. Speaker is being elected among the members of the Lok Sabha. So I hope people have understood what are the elective power of the Union Parliament. Elective means elected. How come? How many bodies or the person or the members can the Parliament elect? The Parliament can elect the President, the Vice President and the Speaker. Right everyone. Next, President, Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, and here I have already mentioned LS, the abbreviated form, Lok Sabha, then RS, Rajya Sabha, SLA, State Legislative Assembly. I have already mentioned how come President is being elected. Then Vice President, Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, they have to be elected members. Then a Speaker, among the members of the Lok Sabha, the Speaker has to be elected, and Speaker, everyone knows, is the head of the Lok Sabha. Next function, executive power. Now how come Parliament enjoy its executive power? Let's see. Through adjournment motion. Now, executive means how come Parliament control. Always remember, executive, how come Parliament implements its rules and regulations, how come Union Parliament control its members. Right everyone. Obviously member has to follow the rules and regulations of the Parliament, so there are different techniques and the methods through which Parliament can very well control its members. Done everyone. So how come there are motions, the methods through which the Parliament can control its members. Let's see. Adjournment motion, no confidence motion, censure motion, cut motion and right of interpellation, that is question R. I'll be explaining you in the next video what is it all about, but let me give you a summary. Adjournment motion, Parliament can adjourn the House if some grave disorder takes place or anything of public importance has to be taken by the Parliament can adjourn the House. Next, no confidence motion. As everyone knows, no confidence motion can easily be passed by the opposition party with 2/3 majority against the PM, and obviously PM has to be dissolved. That means PM with his council has to resign, has to give the resignation to the President if this motion is being passed by the opposition party. I'll be explaining you in depth. Next, censure motion. Here Parliament can very well censure the acts of the members. Next, cut motion. Parliament, here the members can very well, if the budget is being passed, the members of the Parliament can very well deduct or increase the budget by accepting with the majority of the members through votes in the budget session. How come the cut motion takes place. Right everyone. Next, right of interpellation, question R. In this R, question can be asked by the ministers. and simply the ministers has to give the answer, the satisfactory answers. Done, everyone. So these motions, I hope so everyone has understood what are the executive power of the union parliament. The executive power of the union parliament means how come parliament control its members. Clear, everyone? Through different motions sort of a proposal, right? And it is a device through which, a method through which parliament can control its members. Done. Through adjournment motion. Next, no confidence motion, censure motion, cut motion, that means deduction of the budget, right, by the members of the parliament after approval. Then right of interpellation, everyone knows, question hour, discussion of question and answers for the public interest. Clear? Next, then constitutional amendment. Amendment means changes comes in the constitution. Everyone knows, always remember, constitution is the supreme body. It's a body of rules and regulations. Though because our country, Indian constitution, is quite flexible, it can be amended also. But few rules and regulations has to be followed by the parliament. Then only can be constitution be amended. Right? So either of the house parliament may introduce a bill. If you want to amend or change the constitution, you want to bring any changes, you want to add anything in the constitution, you need to pass the bill in either house of the parliament. A bill is a proposal, right? Next, passed by the two-third majority, then that bill has to secure the support of the two-third majority of either house of the parliament, right? Next, or important subjects like fundamental rights, suppose call if they want to change the fundamental rights, the most important part of the constitution, so they need to has to manage to secure the support of at least half the state legislature. State bodies is must if you want to change, if you want to bring any changes in the fundamental rights. So this way the constitution can be amended or changed, right? So amendment, again, it is the sole process lies with the parliament, and parliament has to gather the support of at least two-third majority. And under parliament, obviously everyone knows, two houses of the parliament, any house has to secure the majority, two-third majority of the total member of the house. Done, everyone? Next, bill or a proposal. Now everyone knows what is a bill. Every time we talk about the bill, there are two types of bill: money bill and non-money bill. Non-money bill, another name of non-money bill is ordinary bill. To explain you first about the money bill. Bill is a proposal, anything the parliament can take up and discuss with the majority of the votes. This only the working takes place. This is how the work can be conducted among the members of the parliament, right? So bill, obviously, if it is related to taxes, the alteration or imposition of taxes, that those bills can be known as money bill. And ordinary bill, if it doesn't contain any sort of taxes, right, like the dowry bill, land acquisition bill, this is all called ordinary bill. So let me make you clear about the money bill. Now what is money bill? Money bill, always remember, basically it has to be originated in the Lok Sabha at any cost. An example of money bill is the budget, right? With the approval of the president, it has to be originated in the Lok Sabha. Raj Sabha is not at all responsible for the money bill. That's why if you say Lok Sabha is the most powerful body, why? Because it has control over the money bill. And always remember, money bill has to be originated in Lok Sabha. It is must. Next, 14 days. Now another house has to give its recommendation over the money bill, because this is a process. But if bill is being originated in any house, it has to be approved by another house, as I already explained you. So obviously here money bill is originated where? In the Lok Sabha. So obviously it has to go to the Raj Sabha for its recommendation. And how many days are being given to Raj Sabha to give its recommendation? That means 14 days. Now one thing is more clear. Let me make you clear one thing. It is up to the Lok Sabha if it accept the recommendation made by Rajya Sabha after 14 days, and if it is not accepting any recommendation made by the Rajya Sabha, the bill shall be deemed to be passed. Always remember, if it is up to Lok Sabha, it can say yes or no over the money bill. Fine. And if it is not accepting any recommendation made by the Rajya Sabha, it is up to the Lok Sabha. It is sole authority, and the bill shall be deemed to be passed by the House. Then it is accepted by the Lok Sabha, then the bill shall be deemed to be passed. Always remember, and later on it goes to the president for signature. Then only that bill becomes an act. After signing of the president, that bill becomes an act ready to be implemented in India. Done, everyone, I hope so everyone has understood what is the money bill all about. Money bill is related to taxation, alteration of taxation, imposition of taxation. And in which house the sole authority has over the money bill? Lok Sabha. Always remember, Raj Sabha has no authority over the money bill. And afterwards, Lok Sabha simply transfer the bill to the Rajya Sabha, and Raj Sabha has to give the recommendation within 14 days. And If it is up to now, afterwards again bill goes back to Lok Sabha where it is originated, and it is up to the Lok Sabha whether it accept the bill or not, whether the recommendation made by the Rajya Sabha is accepted by Lok Sabha or not. If it is accepted, fit and fine, otherwise the bill shall be deemed to be passed. Next, come on to ordinary bill. Ordinary bill, the very first thing always clear, ordinary bill can originate in any house, be it Lok Sabha or in Rajya Sabha. That means in money bill, which house has sole authority? Lok Sabha. But in ordinary bill, any house can take up the initiative and present the bill, be it Lok Sabha or in Rajya Sabha. Next, I have already given you the example, Dowry Act, land acquisition, which doesn't consist any taxes. Next, 6 month time. Now, how much time is being given for this bill to be decided by any house? That means 6 month time. 6 months time, the Rajya Sabha may or may not reject the bill. It may create the deadlock. Now, 6 month time is being given to any house, right? Suppose, just one example. If this bill is being originated in the Lok Sabha, then it is must for the Rajya Sabha to give the recommendation within 6 months, right? And if 6 months is being crossed, then what happened? The situation of deadlock arises. That means no house has approved this bill. Done, everyone? Now, who has to be solve the deadlock? Always remember, deadlock has to be solved by the president, and the joint sitting of the house has to be addressed by the speaker. So please don't get confused. When deadlock arises, who is going to solve the deadlock? By addressing both the houses, the president. Done. But if sitting takes place of the Lok Sabha or the Rajya Sabha, then who will preside the sitting? It is the speaker. Clear, everyone? So I hope so people have understood about the money bill as well as the ordinary bill. Money bill originated in Lok Sabha, ordinary bill can originate in either house of the parliament, be it Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha. How much time is being given for the ordinary bill? That means 6 months time. And if it takes more time beyond 6 months, that means situation of deadlock may arise. Clear, everyone? And then deadlock has to be addressed by whom? By the president. Clear? And the joint sitting, always remember, session addressed by the president, sitting addressed by the speaker. Clear, everyone? Next, exclusive power. Now, I hope so till here. Before explanation of the exclusive power, I hope so people have understood about Lok Sabha as well as the Rajya Sabha. Lok Sabha is the lower body. It is a public body, and it is the most powerful body of the Union Parliament. Lok Sabha exercises control over the finances. That's why this body is quite powerful. It's majority. Now this house has number of seats also. That means 552 maximum members may sit in this house as comparison to the Rajya Sabha. Right, everyone? So Lok Sabha, and here the main part, directly elected body, and over here the most powerful person is formed in Lok Sabha, and that is the Prime Minister. Always remember, Prime Minister is formed in Lok Sabha with his Council of Ministry, and the rest of the members are known as the opposition party. Clear, everyone? So here I'm going to explain you the exclusive power, the sole authority, the power which solely enjoyed as a monopoly by either house of the parliament. So I'll make you clear about the exclusive power of the Rajya Sabha first, and then exclusive power of the Lok Sabha. Exclusive power, this power can never be changed or interfered by any house. Clear, everyone? So what do you mean by exclusive power of the Rajya Sabha? Let's start. Rajya Sabha, as everyone knows, so everyone can understand ki, ma'am, Rajya Sabha is not a powerful body. Rajya Sabha is a powerful body, but in few matters it is the powerful body. Otherwise, the whole sole authority of the power lies with the Lok Sabha. Always remember. So this power, exclusive power, explain you, and this way you can understand in what purpose can Rajya Sabha be formed, what Rajya Sabha can do then, right? Then explain you how come Rajya Sabha enjoyed its power. The very first thing, Rajya Sabha by the 2/3 majority passed resolution for the state list. As I already explained you, what do you mean by the union list? The list, the main subject, defense, railway, has a sole authority. And who is controlling the union list? The union legislature or union parliament. And state list, who is controlling? The state legislature. Now the situation may arise, means maybe at time of emergency, union list can interfere, union legislature, union parliament can interfere in the state list, right? So how come union parliament took control over the state list? With the help of the resolution, which has to be, and it is must for the resolution, the proposal passed in the Rajya Sabha with 2/3 majority. That means if union parliament want to legislate over the state list, then in which house this majority has to be passed? In the Rajya Sabha with 2/3 majority, and if the issue is of national importance. Done. Then next, Rajya Sabha is a permanent house, never dissolve. Always remember, Rajya Sabha is a permanent house and no party can dissolve the Rajya Sabha. Like the way Lok Sabha can be easily dissolved, but no party can dissolve the Rajya Sabha. It is the permanent body. It's one third member retired every second year. So this body can take the upper hand now. Right. Next, create a new all India services. Everyone noticed the top civil service IAS exams and PCS services all are being controlled by the Rajya Sabha, and the law for these services can only be created in Rajya Sabha. So I hope so people have understood what exclusive power are there with the Rajya Sabha, and these power can never be interfered by the other house. Next, come to Lok Sabha. Lok Sabha, the very first of all, I already explained you the power over the money bill, that means the finances. Next, PM with his council minister is responsible to Lok Sabha. Everyone knows Lok Sabha, where Prime Minister is formed. In Lok Sabha, Prime Minister is also a directly elected person with his council. Next, no confidence, session or motion or general motion is being passed in the Lok Sabha. Then numerically, Lok Sabha is the powerful body. Numerically, Lok Sabha has more members as comparison to the Rajya Sabha members. Clear, everyone? So I hope so people have understood what are the powers of Lok Sabha as well as the Rajya Sabha. Clear, everyone? So again, I move back to the slide. So I already explained you what the functions of the Union Parliament, judicial functions as well as the elective functions. How come where Parliament may very easily remove the President and the judges, under elective functions Parliament may very easily elect what the President, Vice President and the Speaker. Then Parliament can very easily control its minister with the help of the motions already explained you. Next, constitutional Parliament can amend and bring changes in the constitution. How come either of the Parliament may introduce a bill passed by the two-third majority or by a simple majority. Then next, bill or a proposal. I already explained you the difference between the money bill and the non-money bill. Money bill always originated in the Lok Sabha, and non-money bill originated in either house of the Parliament. Next, exclusive power. As I already told you, what are the exclusive powers? Rajya Sabha by the two-third majority pass a resolution for the state list. Then permanent house, never dissolve, create a new all India services. Then in Lok Sabha, the power on the money bill, finances, PM with his council minister responsible to the Lok Sabha. As everyone knows, Lok Sabha is a directly elected body, and public plays a major role in electing the PM and his council of ministry. Done. And then numerically, obviously Lok Sabha is the most powerful body. Rest of the power and functions explain you in the next video. Till then, do watch it, do listen it attentively.